I'm always looking for plugins that help me mix faster and more efficiently, and I think Waves have come up with something great: AQ Curves. This is the second plugin in the Waves Curves series. The CurvesAQ might be the first EQ that can actually listen to your material and adapt to it. The CurvesAQ listens and thinks about your music. It analyzes your audio, figures out what it should sound like, then builds 5 unique profiles. These aren't static presets. These are adaptive to your music. Then, after you've looked at the 5 curves that it creates, you can then use the static or dynamic EQ section, which allows you to slide between each and allow you to add as much or as little as you want of either static or dynamic EQ. You can obviously blend and cut. It has a tilt shift. Using the mix sense mode, you could then sidechain, say, your vocal to the entire mix, which would then allow you to create a nice little dip where the vocal sits and have the music curved out underneath it. The other thing about the AQ is that it's not a preset. It's actually learning your music. So it allows it to bend to your mix, not a preset value. I'm going to put up a mix of one of my old tunes and we'll run it through and we'll try different instruments through it and we'll see if we can get it to cut a nice little spot for the vocal through the entire mix as well. So we'll try that now. Let's try out this CurvesAQ. So this song, I remember having problems with the sound on it. So that's the reason why I want to use this, to see if it's possible to help it sound a bit better using the CurvesAQ. So just to start, I'll show you what the song sounds like. Okay, we'll just start with that. And that's all the tracks for the actual tune. I have them running into their own buses here. The reverbs are here. But what I've done is I've sent everything to these 5 buses here so I can see what the CurvesAQ can do on each individual sub-bus. The first thing I'm going to start out with is the drums. I'm going to play the drums and then I'm going to click on the Learn button. Okay, so I'm going to click Learn. Oh yeah, that sounds pretty good. Now, these are the 5 suggested alternatives. So let's see. Okay, I think I like that one the best. Let's use that for now. Turn that off, and I'm going to go from the drum bus, which is the one we just did. All right, so I have the bass bus going here, and I'm going to turn the CurvesAQ on. And this time, instead of using adaptive, I'm going to click on it. It already has certain parameters for certain instruments here in its saved values. So I'm going to say that this is a bass guitar. Let's see how it does with that. And I'm going to do the Learn button, and let's see what it does. Okay, let's see which one I like the best of these. Let's stick with that one for the moment. Let's move on to the guitars. And I've already done the Learn on this one, and I picked the second value for this one. Let's go to the mandolins, try that. And let's start with the Learn. Let's see which ones I like the best. Let's see if we use the tilt on this. Oh yeah, that sounds good. So let's just use the tilt a little bit on that one. I think that's good. Maybe a little less. Yeah, I think that sounds all right. So the next one will be the vocals. And let's learn. Let's listen to these different ones.
But sometimes a smile. But sometimes a smile.
I think that's the best sounding of that one. But let's try a little dynamic in here now.
To keep you thinking of the memories he makes. It's saying for nothing, but there's nothing to cry.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. I like that. So that's that. The CurvesAQ's off. Let's hear what it sounds like with them off. And then on. Now off again. On again. Okay, I think that sounds much clearer. I'm going to put the CurvesAQ on the mix out, everything through the master bus here. And I'm going to turn the CurvesAQ on. Okay, and now I'm going to sidechain the CurvesAQ to the vocal. Up here, you'll see I'm going to change it to mix. Learn this. Okay, I think that's the one I like the best. Now I'm going to go up to the mix sense and add to it. And this is now going to be sidechaining. So using the mix sense up here, you can see that now the vocal is cutting out the frequencies from the main track in order to fit itself in more clearly. That's pretty cool. That just scratches the surface of the things that you can do using the CurvesAQ. What I really like about it is if you have a problem mix, to be able to click something on and to have it listen to the song, listen to the EQ on each individual instruments or whatever you try it on. Not only does it actually give you an EQ curve, which is respectable to start off the beginning, but you can also then pick from 5 different ones in case you don't like what you're hearing. Also, of course, you can change any of the frequency levels and the stuff right from here. I didn't show you that part of this, but it works like a regular EQ as well. This is an amazing bit of kit. I don't know, I think it's going to be on my mix from now on, and especially with problematic mixes. So the CurvesAQ is $129 with an introductory price of $49, and also if you own the Curves Equator, you get $15 off as well. Waves did give me a copy of the CurvesAQ to test out beforehand, but I'm not being paid to do this video. And everything in it is my own opinion. CurvesAQ available from today. This is the second plugin in the Curves series, following the Curves Equator, which came out a few months ago. The CurvesAQ might just be the first EQ that listens to your music and learns from it. It doesn't just guess, it listens and it thinks about your music, then builds 5 separate EQ profiles totally tailored to your track. These aren't static presets. These are smart, adaptive, and one-of-a-kind curves. Thanks so much, guys, and we'll see you again next week.